So if you're skeptical about the market crashing, why don't you sell and get the heck out of there?
You were talking about money, right?
Separate yourself widely from the pack moving forward. Is that something that you would be willing to have a discussion about?
Because they didn't get it.
They
were
probably
like,
didn't get it. Yeah.
To follow up with your clients, to generate more leads.
Hey guys, it's Millennial Market Talk, and I'm Mark Jones, your Millennial Mortgage expert. And today we're going to talk about mortgage interest rates, and we're also going to be talking about how important it is to take advantage of the actual market that we have at hand. I have an article that I'll be bringing to you in regards to the right time to sell your property and get the most bang for your buck or value for your dollar. So before we go into that, I wanted to jump into our rates for the day. As you can see here, I am using the same Google tool that when easily searched today's mortgage rates, it will pop up as you scroll down just past all the actual ads of those that are trying to bait and switch you. And this is a tool that Google provides that allows you, the consumer, to dive in, select the loan amount, the amount you're putting down, the state that you're actually purchasing in, and your potential credit score. It actually gives it in the form of ranges. That being the case, Google is not being paid by anybody to advertise and get you to click on the ads to potentially get you into an application with one of these mortgage lenders like you see on bankrate.com or Rocket Mortgage or Zillow. This is simply a tool that pretty much is used to keep everybody honest. And I have to say that it is pretty darn accurate. So as I jump in here today, I'm at a $300,000 price range, rates as of yesterday, the 28th, with 5% down on a Texas purchase, and a credit score range of 700 to 719. As we can see here, 30-year fixed mortgage is sitting at 5.394. An FHA sitting just at 5.4, VA 5.539, and a USDA loan at 5.651. So it looks like the government loans are a bit higher than all of the others, but as you can see, and below here there's a chart. The chart actually shows you what rates have done since the beginning of the year. So as we look at this, we notice that as of January, rates were just below 4%. And as we cruise past now to, let's say the 28th today, we are sitting just under 6%. So all of the chatter about rates are going to hit 4% or 3.99 or just at maybe 4.5%. We're well past that, guys. But as always, I don't want you to get hung up on interest rate. There are so many other factors that play into getting a mortgage loan that actually can affect your payment and your savings quite drastically. And that has to do with the type of program that you actually choose and are being provided by your actual lender. Options is always a better way to go to lay them all out so that you know, based on your situation, what you're going to get yourself into and how much money you are able to save. I always believe that purchasing is a much better choice as opposed to renting and paying somebody else's mortgage. So, as mentioned, I've got a pretty good article for us today, and the article is actually going to be based on the right time to sell as a seller, why the time is right to sell your home in the U.S. And this was published by Chris Taylor, and it looks like it appears to be from investing.com. And Chris mentions here from New York, for the past few years, Lee Adler kept track of the U.S. real estate market and things just kept going up and up. So it seemed an optimal time to sell his stateside home after Adler moved abroad to Nice, France, shortly after the pandemic began. His single-family house in West Palm Beach, Florida sold within a month. I felt that I was in the driver's seat, said Adler, 71, who publishes websites like Liquidity Trader and Wall Street Examiner. I got a cash offer with no contingencies at my asking price. The selling price was 40% higher than I could have gotten a year ago. The sizzling housing market may not be the great news for buyers, but it's terrific news for sellers. The S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Index recently reported national home prices gain of 18.8% for 2021, far outpacing even red-hot inflation numbers. For owners who have been hemming and hawing about whether to sell, it may be time to strike. In fact, The Realtor.com website has a very specific suggestion about when to list: the week of April 10th through the 16th. The current mix of eager buyers, scant listings, healthy prices, and mortgage rates are still relatively low historically speaking, means a lot of factors are tipping the scales in the seller's favor. Mid-April will put sellers in the market just ahead of the big surge in listings in May, says Danielle Hale, chief economist for Realtor.com. That way, they will be able to capitalize on the large buyer audience who haven't been satisfied with the homes available for sale. Looking ahead, there are many reasons to believe the current market will cool off. Higher interest rates affect housing affordability. Average monthly mortgage payments are already much higher than they were just a couple of months ago, says Hale. If regular buyers cannot afford as much per home, investors, who comprise a record 18.4% of the market in 2021 fourth quarter, according to real estate brokerage Redfin, likely will not be quite as interested either. Current projections in 2022, home price growth more modest, 2.9%, says Hale. This year, buyers came out earlier to get ahead of the rising mortgage rates, so now is excellent time to sell, says Daryl Fairweather, Redfin's chief economist. Some thoughts about striking the right deal. Take advantage of the spring rush. Spring is the biggest season for buyers and sellers. Parents do not like to move families after school years getting underway in the fall, and many people, especially in colder climates, are not fans of moving in the winter. Get started right away because there's probably improvements you need to make on your home. Price is right. Your eyes may be big with the dollar signs right now, but given the huge real estate market gains over the recent years, but if your home price is too high for the market and it sits around for a while, then it becomes stale. Thus, the ongoing rise in interest rates could come back to bite you. A better strategy is to err on the side of caution and underprice it, because well-priced homes are getting multiple offers right now, Fairweather said. But if mortgage rates move higher next week, there's a real risk if you are overpriced and the market turns. Use your leverage. If you are in the area where demand is high and inventory is low, that works in your favor when it comes to setting the deal's terms and conditions. Around 15% of deals right now have waived contingencies for issues like inspections or financing, says Fairweather, a much higher level than before the pandemic. Deals are also closing quickly, about 17 days faster than the same period last year, says Hale. Think about the next step. Even if you sell at a great price, the reality is you are still going to have to live somewhere, and rents have been rising sharply too, right along with the housing prices. As a result, a big move makes the most sense for those who are doing some real estate arbitrage. Perhaps an empty nester who is downsizing, or someone taking advantage of the work from home trend to lower the cost of living. The real winners in the housing market are those who are selling in an expensive area and move into more affordable homes, Fairweather says. So guys, that being said, I think it is a good indicator that we may be having some more properties hitting the market sometime soon. Now, being that we are in Texas, who knows? I mean, it is tough for someone to ask to sell their home to take advantage or capitalize on the equity that they've built, whether it was in a short period of time or over a long period of time, to then go and get into another mortgage with higher interest rates. Now, those of you that have plenty of equity, it's not a bad idea to think about cashing out, downsizing, and also putting more homes on the market is always going to be a good thing for everybody all around, especially when we're in the current state where we're super short on inventory. So if you are open to looking to get your financing options and you are moving or currently a home buyer in the state of Texas, please look us up at LaCanteraLoans.com and we will provide you with all your financing options. Anything from FHA, 203K, all the way to USDA and down payment assistance. And lastly, if you are getting something out of these videos, if you find something of value, maybe something you didn't know and something you want to share, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. I appreciate it. That was your Millennial Mortgage Update. I'm Mark Jones, your Millennial Mortgage expert, and you guys make today count.
Talk about money, right?
Separate yourself widely from the pack moving forward. Is that something that you would be willing to have a discussion about?
They didn't get it.
They
were
probably
like, hey,
didn't
right,
get it. Yeah.
to follow up with your clients to generate more leads.